Hey everyone, this is the Math Nexus, and today we are going to start with exercise 2.1. And I think we are not going to solve as much questions. Let's see, according to the time we have. But our main objective today is to clarify the main concept that we are going to encounter in chapter 2. Okay, so the thing is, many of you must have heard about simultaneous equations. And what simultaneous equations are, they are equations through which we can there are actually two equations through which we can solve one equation. For example, we have xy is equals to 1, and this is equation number 1. And we have what you can say x plus 3 is equals to 13y, something like this. The thing is, what this is equation 2. And if we would have solved this individually, we could not have found out x or the y value in this equation. But the thing is, if we use simultaneous equations and the question tells us that these two values are connected in some way, we could have solved it easily. So we could have said y is equals to 1 upon x, and that would become equation 3 after changing equation 1. And we could input the value of this y into equation number 2, and we would say x plus 3 is equals to 13 multiplied by 1 upon x. And we could solve this and find the value of x. I'm not going to do this example really, but it was just to clarify a concept. And the thing is, there are two methods we can solve simultaneous equations. One is the elimination method, and another is the substitution method. I think many of you will know about the substitution method because it's most common. We use it maths P1 it comes mostly. But the thing is, for example, what is the substitution method? The thing is, we have been given two simultaneous equations and they are connected in some way or another. Okay? That's been told in the question. So, for example, we have these two equations 2x minus y is equals to 1 and 5x plus 2y is equals to 25. Again, if we would have solved them individually, we could have never found out the value of x and y. So, the thing is, whenever we get a equation, we try to fit it into the other equation. Let me explain. For example, we have 2x minus y is equals to 1. We cannot fit it into this equation. We need something that is in this equation, 5x plus 2y is equals to 25, and can be replaced by the second equation. And how can that be done? So 2x minus y is equals to 1. And if you notice, we have a y in this equation and an x. So we could either make x subject of the equation 2 or y is subject. Right now, I would choose y as the subject because it seems more easier to me. So y is equals to 1 minus 2x. Sorry, minus y is equals to, and y is equals to 2x minus 1. So that's we have derived equation number 3 out. The thing is, what we do next is take this value of y and input it into the first equation. So 5x plus 2, and instead of only y, we write the value of y we have found. So 2 and 2x minus 1 is equal to 25. 5x plus 2 to the 4x minus 2 is equal to 25. I know I'm just explaining the example, so I'll just go to the point. So x is equal to 3. I'm just directly solving this. Okay. Now the thing is, we found out x is equal to 3. And then obviously we can find out the equation, the y value by inputting this x value into any. We could either input into equation 1 or input into equation 2 or input it into the equation 3 that we have found out right now. Y is equal to 2x minus 1. It's more simple. So y is equal to 2 multiplied by 3 minus 1. So 6 minus 1 is equal to 5. So that's how you use the substitution method. It's really common, so I've been not going in detail. And the reason why many people just ask, for example, we have found out y is equal to 2x minus 1. So why don't we just input the y value again into this, for example, why don't we do 2x minus 1 is equal to 2x minus 1 and just solve? Well, it's not going to solve. You just try it out. Right? It's going to cancel out everything. So our answer would be 0 is equal to 0 for any equation. So that's the thing. Another method, however, is well, I do not prefer it for any questions, but sometimes the examiner specifically asks to solve your simultaneous equation with the elimination method. And I know many people do not like this equation, so it's really what we can say. It's kind of complicated or something. No, it's not complicated, but it's really tricky, something like that. You can say, whatever. So the thing is, so 5x plus 2 y is equal to 25 is the same example. 2x minus y is equal to 1. So what we have to do right now is to find any way in which equation 1 or equation 2 would allow the y value to be taken out or the x value to be taken. For example, we want something that if we add both of these equations, for example, 5x plus 2y and 2x minus y is equal to 25 is equal to 1. And if we just add these up, for example, 25 minus 1 or 25 plus 1, you can say 26 plus 2y minus y is equal to y, and 5x minus 2x, 5 plus 2x is equal to 7x. That would give us 7x minus y is equal to 26, which in return is not how we can solve the equation. So we need something that would allow us to take the x or y value out of this equation. So let's change only the equation to 5x plus 2y is equal to 25. Okay. And the reason why using the example here, I could have used my own example, but the thing is, it's solved and I can explain you more specifically. My main objective is to explain the book and, of course, the past papers, but I want to make sure that whatever in the book there is, you understand. So what we do next is 5x plus 2y is equal to 20. And we need to do something that this 2x minus y is equal to 1 becomes something that can be cancelled out. So I think y can be changed. Plus y minus y. If we make this y minus 2y or this 2x or I'm saying, equals to 5x, there could be some change. What I think is we should make it multiply this by 2. So we have to multiply the whole equation. In order to make this minus 2y, we have to multiply the whole equation by 2 because we have to balance it. It can't be like we just add a 2 in it because we want. So we have to balance the equation. So 4x, 2 multiplied by 2x is equal to 4x minus 2y is equals to 25 is equals to 2. Sorry. Okay, so what next is we add this. Okay, 25 plus 2. Well, it's not fixed what we do. It depends on the sign of the variable or the constant. Okay, so they both are positive. So 25 plus 2 is 27. And positive 2y minus 2y is equals to 0. We are writing nothing. And 5 minus 4x is equals to x. And sorry, my bad, my bad, my bad. 5 plus 4x, so it's equals to 9x. So 9x minus 0 is 27. Similarly, 9x is equal to 27. And x is equal to 27 divided by 9, which is equal to. And so we can find the value of y by just using our equation 2, for example. 2x minus y. We have the value of 3, so 2x minus y is equal to 1. And just solve this. 6 minus y is equal to 1. And minus y is equal to 1 minus 6. Y is equal to positive 5. Okay. Okay, so we have discussed till now how to solve simultaneous equations through the elimination and substitution method. The thing is, what we have to know right now is how to solve quadratic equations. And the thing is, till now we have mostly discussed y is equal to mx plus c, which is the equation for a straight line. However, we are now talking about equations that are quadratic, which follow the formula ax squared, or you can say the format, plus bx plus c is equals to 0. Or it's not going to be equals to 0 necessarily. But the thing is, this is the basic format for a quadratic equation. Um, and you can solve this equation through three methods. The factorization method, completing the square method, and the quadratic formula method. And you can also solve through the calculator. Sorry, that was my calculator getting down. You can also solve this through the calculator, and it's much more easier. In paper two, as much you are allowed calculator, so why not use it? But for some questions, I'm going to use the one of these methods so that you can get used to it. But and most of the parts, I'm going to use a calculator. Um, so let me explain these methods. And the most one of my most favorite method is the factorization method, as I find it much more easier. So for example, we have something like, let's take the example itself: x squared minus 4x minus 12 is equals to 0. And what we do in this method is, first of all, the c part. We This thing follows the equation ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay. Whatever value does not have the coefficient of is not itself the coefficient of x, meaning it's a single value, or you can say the c in this equation. We are going to take this and find out the LCM. Okay. And another thing I have to clarify before we start this is, for example, there would have been a 2 here. Okay. It's important that we take this 2 and solve this x squared minus 4x minus 12 minus 2, which becomes minus 14, is equal to 0. It's really important that we do that before solving or taking the LCM of this minus 12 or minus 14. Because we have to make the other side equals to 0. We have to make that before solving any quadratic equation. And that's the terms and condition of everything. So everything has a price. So you have to make it equals to 0 on the other side. So right now we only have a 0. We can easily solve this. So x squared minus 4x minus 12 is equal to 0. So take the LCM. I know it's negative 12, but take the LCM of positive 12 only. We do 2, 6 are 12, 3 are 6, and 3 ones are 3. Now we have three factors: 2, 2, and 3. Okay. And what we have to do is make something out of these three factors to give out 4, or in fact, negative 4, sorry. And that's where many people get confused how to make this. It's all about practice. So you have to make something. You can multiply each of these. So 3 to the is 6, and 6 minus 2 is 4. So we can use 3 to the 6. So x squared minus 6x plus 2x minus 12 is equals to 0. And if we see minus 6 plus 2 is equals to minus 4x, which satisfies this equation. I know many people may get confused, but it's about a lot of practice. And if you can't get this, look at videos, try to understand and solve questions using the factorization method. It's really important. Even in maths, it's important. So x squared minus 6x plus 2x minus 12 is equals to 0. Now factorize this: x minus 6 plus 2, and factorize this in two parts. First, the other half, then the second half. By the way, this is not a modulus I've added. Plus 2 as the common, x minus 6 is equal to 0. Another thing is that whatever is in the bracket, I mean, whatever we take the common out of, meaning x minus 6 and x minus 6, these two values should be the same. For example, if we have the x minus 6 here, we should have x minus 6 here also. And it's really important. Otherwise, your equation is wrong somewhere or another. That's a check. So x plus 2, we take this in one form, and x minus 6, we take this in another form, is equals to 0. And that's how you factorize. So x plus 2 or x minus 6 is equals to 0. We can easily say, for example, we have 2 multiplied by 0 is equals to 0. Okay. Or in fact, we have 0 multiplied by 2 is equals to 0. So we do not know x plus 2 is equals to 0 or x minus 6 is equals to 0. So we say x plus 2 is equals to 0 or x minus 6 is equals to 0. And x is equals to negative 2 or x is equals to positive 6. And that's it. That's how you solve through the factorization method. And the method which well, not everyone, but most of us hate is the completing the square method. It's a little, I mean, you have to pick up the formula, divide everything. It's really sometimes confusing. Okay, for the second method, we have the completing the square method. And as I discussed earlier, it's really confusing for some people, but I'll try to make it as simple as possible. So for now, I'm just going to follow the example. And the reason why I'm following the example is because it's balanced. We could know its answer easily, and I could see if I'm incorrect or wrong in that. That's the main objective. So x squared minus 4x minus 12 is equal to. And now, what the first step when you start to follow the completing the square method is to make sure that whatever the coefficient of x is, it should be 1. So for example, we would have 2x squared minus 16 plus 2. I'm just giving an example. Okay. If we have to make this, have to solve this through the computing the square method, we should first divide everything by 2 to make the coefficient of x 1. So 2 divided by 2 is x squared minus 16 divided by 2 is 8x plus 2 divided by 2 plus 1 is, and then we would have solved it. So again, in order to follow the computing the square method, you have to make the coefficient of x 1. So right now we have 1, no big deal. So x squared minus 4x minus 1. What's the next step we do? And it's kind of you have to learn it, you can say. Step. So what you do next is x squared minus 4x and plus 4 upon 2 whole square. Take the coefficient of x, divide by 2 and give it a square. And the thing is, you can't just put it out of a thin air in the equation. You have to add it, so you have to subtract it also. So 4 upon 2 whole square minus 12 is equal to 0. Okay. So what you do next is just right now, just ignore this part of the equation. Right now, ignore this part of the equation. Check out this part. Let me take this here. So x squared minus 4x plus 4 upon 2 is 2 whole square. Dot, 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 dot. And if you just take it, and let me simplify this further. X squared minus 4x plus 2. Right? And if you just concentrate here, right now, you can see that this follows the equation a minus a plus, sorry, in fact, a minus b whole squared is equals to a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. And what's the b squared? We have already found it out by dividing the coefficient of x by 2. So what we do here is simplify this. So a squared is x. Right now in this equation, if we say a is equals to x because it's been given a square. As for the b part, how we find the b? A is x. We know it because through the x squared we got to know. 2ab is equals to 4x. And we already know instead of a we can write a. So 2xb is equals to 4x and x will be cut down. We can say b is equals to 4 upon 2, which in return equals to 2. So we have actually found out b, the b value in this minus 2ab by comparison. So what we do is we know the a and we know the b. So what we do is simple. We take a minus b whole squared and we have minus 4 upon 2. We are going to continue our equation. Minus 12 is equal to 0. And now just simplify this. So x minus 2 whole squared minus 4 upon 2 is 2 and 2 squared is 4. Minus 12 is equal to 0. So x minus 2 whole squared minus 16 is equal to 0. And that's it. That's how you solve it through the squared method. That's the first step, I mean. Okay. So x minus 2 whole squared is equals to 16. And that's the tricky bit. Now it's going to be the easy part. What we have done till here was tricky. This is going to be easy. So x minus 2 is equals to under root 16, which is 4. And x is equals to 4 plus 2. So x is equals to 6. And you input this x value into the, what you can say, y value, and you can find out the answer. By the way, I was about to forget this, but I've seen the example right now. Whenever you open under root, so for example, you cancel out this, but this is going to be open. So you get two values, positive or negative, because we do not know what makes up under root. Because negative 2 multiplied by negative 2 is equals to 4, positive 4, and 2 multiplied by 2 is equals to 4. So we do not know what makes a root. So plus minus 4 will be our x minus 2. So plus minus 4 plus 2. So x is equals to 4 plus 2 is 6, or minus 4 plus 2 is, what's minus 4 plus 2? It's 2, minus 2. So we would have two values. So whenever you open a under root, remember to give out two values. So this was a brief explanation for the completing the squared method. Now proceeding on to the quadratic formula method, and it's kind of a shortcut. And if you have a calculator with you, it's going to be like literally really easy. And again, if your basic math, for example, division, multiplication, subtraction, addition is good, you are going to find this method the most useful. However, I still go for the factorization method for me. It depends what you find easy. You may find the completing the square method easy. Go for what you find easy yourself, not what others say, tell you, or something like that. So be yourself. X squared minus 4x minus 12 is equals to 0. So we do know the quadratic equation formula. Ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. And what we do is find out the a, the b, and c. So we know the coefficient of x is nothing, so that means we have a 1a. It can't be 0, otherwise x squared wouldn't have existed. So a is equals to 1, bx. So b is negative 4. What is with the x? What is the coefficient of x? It's negative 4. So we take b is equals to negative 4 and c is equals to negative 12. And now, another thing you have to memorize. So the quadratic formula is x, or you can say y, or you can say any other variable, z, whatever, lm, n, o, p, q, r, s, t, something like that, whatever it is it's equals to minus b plus minus under root b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Now, you may say something, it's a complicated formula, why should we learn it? It makes life easy, so learn it. The thing is, you just have to learn this. Minus b plus minus under root b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Learn it by heart. It's going to be making your life easy. And just input the a, b, and c values. Replace a, b, c value. So what we are going to do, minus, instead of b, we are going to write minus 4. Put it in a bracket so that it's more easier to solve. So plus minus under root b squared minus 4ac. So b squared minus 4 squared minus 4 multiplied by a is 1 and c is negative 4. Divide this whole by 2 and multiply it with the a value, which is 1. Now simplify this. Negative multiplied by negative 4 is 4 plus minus under root. 4 squared is 4 4 is a 16 minus 12 4 is a 4 2 is a 8 4 1 is a 4 minus instead positive 48 divided by 2. And I'm just going to add it to a calculator. 16 plus 48 is 64. So this will in return be equals to 4 plus minus under root 64 divided by 2. Again, simplify this. 4 plus minus 64 in the under root is 8. 8 is a 64, yes. So 4 plus minus 8 is divided by 2 is equals to x. So x would have two values. X is equals to 4 plus 8 divided by 2. Or x is equals to 4 minus 8 divided by 2. And x is equals to 8, 9, 10 divided by 2 is 5. If I'm not wrong. Sorry, 4 plus 8. I just took 8. 2. So 8 plus 4 divided by 2 is 6. Or x is equals to 4 minus 8 divided by 2 is equals to, wait a second, 4 minus 8 divided by 2, negative 2. So that's it. This is the quadratic formula method. And I think many of you would have found that easier. But the thing is, why I prefer factorization method is because sometimes you have really advanced values. For example, you have negative 18, negative 200 in the C value. Sometimes it's going to be more harder, you can say, and you can easily factorize it. However, it depends on your personal choice. I'm going to force you on anything, nor do I have the right to. So this is the basic introduction of what we are going to discuss mostly in our topic. And yeah, I have not actually explained anything. I expect you to know all of these. It's just reminded of the previous topic you should have learned. If you have not learned these topics, please do learn them because they are really, really important. Not only in and maths, but also in maths. Maths is actually compulsory in all levels. So you have to do it. Okay, so we are at last at our question solving part. So for question one, we have y is equals to x squared as the first equation and y is equals to x plus 6 as the second equation. What we do now, we label this equation 1, we label this equation 2. So we have to put equation 2 into equation 1. So that would be x plus 6 is equal to squared. We are just replacing the y values. What we do next is x squared minus x minus 6 is equal to 0. And if you're going to ask why did I just take the minus x and minus 6 here, why not x squared at this point? It was just one value. Well, that would be wrong because it's preferred that you take the x squared value or the x squared coefficient to be opposite. So now just factorizing this, take an LCM, and what you do is 2, 3 is 6, 3, 1 is 3, and x squared minus 3x minus 2x minus 6 is equal to 0. Similarly, x squared, now take the factors, x minus 3 minus 2, x minus 3 is equal to 0, and x minus 3, x minus 2 is equal to 0. So x is equal to either positive 3 or x is equal to positive 2. Or is it correct? Let me see. Square minus x minus 3. X is minus 2. And I think it's correct. Oh, I think I got it. So we have to take this not negative 2, we have to take this positive 2 because if we take it negative 2 and we multiply it by negative 3 here for opening the bracket, that would result in positive 6 because negative multiplied by negative is positive. So we need to make this value, try to make this value a negative. So that's why we are going to take positive 2 so that when this bracket opens, it remains negative. So positive 2 here and then x is equal to negative. Okay, we have found out the x values. Now find the corresponding y values. So y is equal to x squared, so 3 squared is equal to 9, or y is equal to negative 2 squared, which is 4. That is for question 1. Going to question 2, y is equal to x minus 6, and x squared plus xy is equal to 8. What we do next is just input and just mention the equation 1, equation 2, equation number 1 into equation number 2. And what that will give us is instead of x squared plus x, and instead of y, we're going to write x minus 6. I think there is some x minus 6 is equal to 8. What we'll do next is x squared plus x squared again minus 6x is equal to 8. And 2x squared minus 6x and minus 8 is equal to 0. Take 2 as a common as it's going to make your life easier. And minus 3x minus 4 is equal to 0. And take the LCM of 4. We have 2 2s are 4 and 2 1s are 2. So when we say we can also you can do is 1 1s are 1. So we also have 1 as a factor of 4, obviously. So x squared minus 2 2s is 4. So minus 4x plus 1 and 1x minus 4 is equal to 0. And factorize this x minus 4 plus 1 x minus 4 is equal to 0. So x plus 1 and x minus 4 is equal to 0. And similarly, we have two values of x is equal to negative 1 or x is equal to positive 4. So we will find the corresponding values of y. So y is equal to x minus 6. So negative 1 minus 6 is equal to negative 7. Or y is equal to 4 minus 6, which is equal to negative 2. And that's for question number 2. Let me erase the board for part 3 and just wait a second. And they're just like similar questions in this exercise. They're like the same thing repeated once after one after. And just let me just make the four correct, and that's it. For question number three, we have y is equals to x minus 1 and x squared plus y squared is equals to 25. So this one is equation 1 and this is going to be equation 2. What we do next is input equation 1 into equation 2. And what we mean by that is we take the value of equation 1, x squared plus, and input this into the equation 2. So x minus 1 whole squared is equals to 25. Okay, and x squared plus x minus 1 whole squared is, we are going to open this with the a minus b whole squared formula. So a squared, x squared, minus 2, a is x, b is 1, plus b squared, which is 1 squared, is equals to 25. Simplify this to x squared minus 2x plus 1 minus 25 is equals to minus 4 is equals to 0. Right? Take a common of 2x squared minus x minus 12 is equals to 0. This 2 is going to be divided by 0, which would mean that 0. This would mean 0. So take the LCM for 12, and 2 6 are 12, 2 3 are 6, and 3 1 are 3. Take something out of these three, that negative 1 will come out. So CG x squared minus 4x plus 3x minus 12 is equals to 0. So that would mean x squared minus 4, we are going to take the factor. We are going to factorize it. So x minus 4 plus 3, let's say common x minus 4 is equals to 0. And x plus 3, x minus 4 is equals to 0. Similarly, x plus 3 is equals to 0. So that means x equals to negative 3 or x is equals to positive 4. We have the x values, input this into the y. So y is equals to x minus 1. So minus 3 minus 1 is equals to y is equals to negative 4, or y is equals to 4 minus 1, which is itself 3. So this is the two values for y we have in this question. Let's proceed to question number 4. I think it's enough. Question 4. xy is equals to 4 and y is equals to 2x plus 2. This is equation 1 and this is equation 2 similarly. What we do next is, okay. What we do next is simply just take the y value. Okay. Input equation 2 into equation 1. And what that would mean is we would just directly take the y value and multiply it in the equation. So x, 2x plus 2 out of the bracket is equals to 4. Simplify this, 2x squared plus 2x is equals to 4, and 2x squared plus 2x minus 4 is equals to 0. Take the common, x squared plus x minus 2 is equals to 0, and that would give us the opportunity to take 2 as the LCM. So 2 ones are 2, 1 ones are 1. So you will take So you will take two values, 2 and 1, x squared plus 2x minus x minus 2 is equals to 0. Factorize this, x plus 2 minus 1, x. And what we'll do is add plus 2 here, because if we just add negative 2 at this point, that would multiply and become positive after the bracket is open, which is not desired. So x minus 1, x plus 2 is equals to 0, x is equals to positive 1, or x is equals to negative 2. So we have the two values for x. Just find the y value. So y is equals to 2 multiplied by 1 plus 2, or y is equals to 2 multiplied by negative 2. Here we're running out of space. So plus 2. So y is equals to 4 plus 2, which is 6, or y is equals to negative 4 plus 2. Wait a second. I just made a mistake. 2 plus 2 is 4. I don't know what's happening in my mind right now. So y is equals to 2 multiplied by 2 is negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. So that's the answer for question number 4. Now let's proceed to question 5. Okay, for question 5, we have two values, x plus y is equals to 1, and x squared minus xy is equals to 2. So we have assigned them the equations. This is equation 1 and this is equation 2. And what we do is take out another equation. We say y is equals to 1 minus x. This is going to be equation number 3. Okay, and that would mean we would say input equation 3 into equation 1. And that would result in x squared minus x multiplied by 1 minus x is equals to 0. Okay, and what's next is we're going to simplify. So x squared minus x plus x squared is equal to 0. 2x squared minus x is equal to 0. Another thing is 2x squared minus x plus 0 is equal to 0. Because if there's no value, there's obviously a 0. And you could do this through the factorization method. You could do this through any other method. What I'm going to do right now is take a is equals to 2, b is equals to negative 1, and c is equals to 0. Okay, so what we're going to do next, as you can guess it, right? Minus b plus minus under root b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. And that's where is equal to x. And that's where knowing the variety of methods help you. Where you think it's going to be hard to factorize, you take the other method and solve it, solve the equation to it. So that's why it's really useful. So this is the quadratic formula, just replace the a and b values. So -1, plus minus under root b squared is 1. So minus 4 multiplied by a, which is 2, multiplied by 0, divided by 2 multiplied by 2 is equal to x. That would mean 1 plus minus under root 4 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 0 is equal to 0. So divided by under root 1 divided by 4 is equal to x. That would mean 1 plus 1 divided by 4 is equal to x, or 1 minus 1 divided by 4 is equal to x. So x is equal to 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 upon 4 is 1 upon 2, which is 0.5, or 0 divided by 4 is 0. So x is equal to. So we have two values of x. Now using equation 3, we are going to say x plus y is equal to, y is equal to 1 minus. So y is equal to 1 minus 1 upon 2, or y is equal to 1 minus 0. And y is equal to 0.5 itself, or you can say 1 upon 2 again, or y is equal to 1. And these are the x and y values we are going to find the question. Okay, so this is it for today. I know it's a little short lecture for today, but still, that's it. Thank you for taking today's lecture. I will meet you with the rest of the exercise in my next video. So stay tuned. I'll meet you in the next lecture. Thank you.